these years, I should have been playing football. I shouldn't have let anyone tell me I can't play because I'm a girl. Football is straight. It's powerful, it's strong, and it's happy, and it's sad, all mixed up together in one. And it's the voice for everybody. Football led me to my inner strength. And then once I found my own inner strength, now I had to shout it from the mountaintops to all little girls. Biggest mistake in my life, staying with someone that was abusive. Don't know why, but I think that had I not gone through that experience, I wouldn't be where I am today, possibly.
QPTV presents Power Women of Queens, a series that highlights the everyday female decision maker, political leader, manager, and scientist as the norm, not the exception. The women featured are everyday women, mothers, wives, sisters, and co-workers whose actions have contributed to the Queens community.
Billie Jean King sees me, and she sees my helmet. And she said, "Collette, get over here." So then I go over, I'm like, "Hi, Billie Jean King, it's an honor to meet you." And she goes, "It's an honor to meet you." So she's like, "Can I hold your helmet?" And I'm thinking, yeah. We have a photograph of me and her, she's holding my helmet. And then she said to me, she goes, "This is incredible." She goes, "You're gonna need an agent or a publicist, or you're gonna have to build." And I said, "What do you mean?" "No, I'm not." She said, "Collette, you're the first female coach of the New York Jets." She goes, "And you're the first black female in the NFL, female coach." And I was like, oh my God, I never thought about it, right? So then we do some talk. Kim Hampton comes over, and so Billie Jean and I are still talking a conversation, and then Kim Hampton says, "Yeah, you're gonna need an agent." And I said, "Kim, I don't think so." I said, "Stop it." And Kim Hampton then said, "Collette, you're the first black female coach in the NFL." Coming through there just brought back so many memories.
Is it memories from the New York Jets or football in general?
Memories from the New York Jets. Yeah, when I'm on a stadium, on a field like this is all about the New York Jets. Women's pro football doesn't have anything remotely close to like this, this kind of excellence.
Let me rewind a little bit. So when you were a kid growing up, who was the first person or an event that inspired you to go into football?
You know what? I don't think it was one person, or I could say it might have been the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys rivalry years ago with my dad and I watching football. So I think I just like the bond of my father and I watching football. And I just loved football my whole life. So,
was he supportive of you playing football?
He wasn't. I can't say yes or no. It just was kind of like girls don't play, but we watched football together. So that was our bonding time.
So when was the first time you really started to think about, seriously think about football?
Never until I was 42 years old.
Wow.
42 years old when I heard about women's pro football. Prior to that, I only liked or thought I could only watch it. I could only be in the bleachers or in the stands. And when I heard about women's pro football, I was 42 and I took it seriously at that point.
What were the thoughts that you thought when you heard about that?
I was angry at one sense and I was excited at the other. I was angry because all these years I should have been playing football. I shouldn't have let anyone tell me I can't play because I'm a girl. So I was angry in one sense. And then the other side, I was just happy that I could finally get to play football.
Football seems very charged, that word for you. What does it represent, really?
Strength.
Why do you think you need that strength?
I think for too many years, all women, girls, I think that we're just told to sit back and be quiet, and really not fight for what we believe in. Our voice is not that important. Being a girl, being a woman, at least that's what I thought. I just kind of always thought if I was somewhere, I was allowed to be here. And I think football let me know I can go anywhere I want. And it's powerful. Football is inner strength. It's powerful and it's strong and it's happy and it's sad, all mixed up together in one. And it's the voice for everybody.
And I know you do a lot for young girls in Queens. And is that your mission in life? And how football led you to do that?
Yeah, football led me to my inner strength. And then once I found my own inner strength, now I had to shout it from the mountaintops to all little girls. So for me, it's all about helping them out now, helping out the next person. And the next persons are these kids that need us to be supportive. So football did so much, so much for me and for others.
What are some of the ways that you help the girls?
Coming out, talking to them, letting them see someone that looks like them, that they can relate to. When they see me and they know that not only did I play pro football for a women's league, to be the first female coaching for the New York Jets in franchise history, it gives them hope. It opens up the doors of imagination for what they can do. Because this is not supposed to be possible, but it is. It is.
So you think they relate to you?
Yeah. Yeah, we come from the same neighborhoods. We look the same, you know. May have had a similar lifestyle growing up, you know, parents working hard just to make ends meet, you know. So I'm a real story to them. I'm someone that is in their neighborhood. I'm in their neighborhood. You know, I'm in Queens. I grew up where you grew up.
When was the moment, or was it a moment that you felt, okay, I made it, yes, that's what I wanted and I got it?
That's a good question, because I think for me, I had a few of those I made it moments, because each time I thought I made it or did something powerful, there was a bigger moment afterwards because of that first moment. So I want to say, like, I think when the head coach of the New York Jets calls you up and says, Collette, what do you think about being our coach this summer? That, for me, was making it, you know? And then after getting to the camp and being there at the camp with all the players and all the coaches, then I was like, wow, I made it, I'm here, you know? And then calling my dad to say, guess where I am? That was a make it moment, you know? So there's so many, you know? And then I think also when I get to visit a school, and I have a whole auditorium full of little girls, you know, little black girls, little Hispanic girls that are trying to make ends meet and decipher life. And I'm talking to them, then I made it. So it's like all these moments are, each little moment just makes bigger times, you know, that are positive.
I know football, it's male-dominated, extremely male-dominated industry. What were some of the challenges that as a woman you encounter?
I think some of the challenges are people just really not believing that we actually do it, and them just not wanting to take the time out. I don't think, for the most part, and I don't want to bash men, but at the same time, women aren't getting their due respect. So, for instance, when I say I played football, they might say, oh, flag. Not that there's anything wrong with flag, but why wouldn't you think I would play real football?
And flag being?
Flag being just not hit them hard, take them down to the ground, right? It's pull the flag off their waist and they stop the play. You know, but when somebody says football to me and I tell them about something and things that I've done, they don't think real football. And I think that's not good. And I want to change that.
Do you think that's why a lot of young girls don't want to go into football, or their parents are not supportive into them going into football just because of what the idea of female football is?
Well, I think that there are more girls out there than we know that want to play football. We don't think about it like that. We just want to play football. It's a passion, you know, and so girls want to play, but there's an underlying rule that we're really not supposed to. And if you're out here, we're kind of just letting you. And now on the other side with the parents, boy, male or female, parents don't want their kids playing football, a lot of them because of injuries and things like that. So you got an upswing in girls playing football and actually a downswing in boys playing football.
What is the thing that frustrates you the most?
I think just not being considered equal by most people. I think having to prove yourself over and over and over and over again frustrates me the most. You know, you wouldn't ask anybody else that's non-female the same question over and over again. So why would you ask a female that? So that's what frustrates me. I want to get past that.
Being a female coach, what qualities in your character allow you to do that?
Passion is definitely a big factor of that. Passion is definitely a big factor. I think also leadership, you know, being a leader and not being afraid to take a chance or knowing when not to take a chance, you know, thinking about smart ways to move around the field. I think that helps to be a better coach. It led me to that.
What was the most difficult decision that you had to do in order to fulfill your destiny?
Wow. I think giving up a job that paid me a lot of money in order to pursue football. So most women still keep their 9-to-5 jobs and they play football. I found that I had so much passion with this that I little by little stopped doing my real estate business. I worked for a top firm. I made a lot of money. I specialized in new development marketing, so I was selling development condos. And when football came into my life, all of a sudden, I just found that I was putting more time to football. And of course, with women in football, we're not getting paid. You know, it's not the same way men, you know, not even remotely close to that. So that was something that I had to decide. And it wasn't a decision like, okay, I'm going to stop doing real estate to do football. It just little by little started going that way.
Do you consider yourself rebel or trendsetter?
Both. I couldn't decide on either one. Yeah, both.
What is one situation that you got what you wanted and you knew that that's because you rebelled?
You know, I'd have to say playing football with the boys in the street, you know, as a kid, you know, telling the boys, I'm playing with you today, like it or not. This is not an organized team. We're all out here playing. I live on this block, you live on this block, and I'm playing. That's it, period.
I like that. What is one thing that we don't know about you?
I think a lot of people probably that don't know me know that I'm a huge animal lover. Like, I'm a huge animal lover. I don't think anybody should be buying pets. I think everybody should be adopting. Like when I tell you there are animals in shelters that are alive right now that need homes. If I could shut down pet stores, I would shut them all down for at least 2 or 3 years until we have all the shelters cleared out. So when I tell you, I was studying veterinary medicine in college. I wanted to be a veterinarian.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I'm a huge animal supporter and lover.
What is the biggest mistake or a failure that you've learned so much from it?
Wow, that's a tough question. I think choosing the wrong guy to date. Choosing the wrong guy to date. I dated some losers in my past that I thought they were the good guys, and they weren't. And biggest mistake in my life, you know, staying with someone that was abusive. And I didn't leave. Don't know why, you know, but I think that it's probably what has shaped me today.
How so?
Wanting to help others more, recognizing sooner than later what is not right, what I should tolerate and what I shouldn't tolerate, to value myself, to know my self-worth. So I think it's a lot of trials and tribulations, and I think failing, and that was a failure for me, being with a person that didn't treat me right. Failure can actually improve your life tomorrow. You know, so I went through some bad things, but I've learned a lot from it. You know, I've been appointed the ambassador for the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence. You know, and when I visit schools, I talk about it. I talk about this to the boys and the girls. You know, if someone is doing you wrong in the very beginning, it's not a good sign. Follow your instincts.
Let's talk about the Believe in You company that you have, the organization that you have. What was the idea behind how you shifted from real estate, now football, and then to Believe in You? How that happened?
Believe in You Incorporated came to be when I started playing football, and I don't think I believed in myself enough throughout my life. So when I found football and I found this inner strength, and I started believing in myself, and I wanted to share it, like share that feeling and share that with everybody else. So when the New York Jets coaching opportunity came around, I said, I'm going to start a company and use this, you know, to go speak to kids. So Believe in You, it's funny because it's cathartic. I'm literally talking to kids about them believing in themselves, and it helps me. So anytime that I may have a doubt, I mean, we're all human. We're not going to think we're invincible. I mean, I clearly don't think I'm invincible, but I clearly believe in myself. And then there are times when I'm like, I can't do that. I can't make that project happen. And then I'm thinking, well, I'm telling these kids to believe in themselves, and I'm going to doubt myself now. So it's a movement for me. Not only my own company, but it's also a movement.
I know you work with a lot of schools in Queens. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you're involved in the schools?
So there's an organization called Power Play, New York City. And Power Play empowers little girls through sports. So I have a couple schools that I visit in Queens like 3 times a week. It's just really empowering girls, you know, and teaching them football. I brought my football helmet. I brought my football helmet to the school the other day, and the girls were all trying to try the helmet on, and they wanted to throw the football around. And there was one of the girls that said to me, well, girls don't play football. And I said, well, why would you think that? She goes, well, it's just not supposed to. Girls don't do that. And I said, girls do that. You know, and I said, look at me. And I showed them photographs, and they were like, no way, coach. So all these little girls, they're like cute. They're like 6 and 7 years old, and they're calling me coach, and they want to run around with the football now and ask me how to play. I mean, that's a big deal. These girls now, I believe, are empowered too now.
What is next for you? How do you see Collette in the next 10 years?
Wow, empowering more kids and more women. Eradicating domestic violence. Making sure no animals are suffering at the hands of any person. Wow, my company to go global. You know, for me to be now empowering kids not only in New York and in Queens, but maybe in Africa, Puerto Rico.
You didn't mention football.
That's a good point. Football will never be out of my system. Football is strength. Yeah, football lives in me forever.
In what ways would you have it in your life?
Teaching girls how to play football. Teaching girls how to play. I'll be doing a lot of traveling. I'll be in New Orleans next week teaching girls to play football at the Women's World Football Games as a shadow coach. I'll be in Paris, France in June for about 2 weeks, and I'll be literally coaching up women there in Europe to play football. Football will never be out of my life. That's just like a common denominator with me.
What about the New York Jets?
Oh, the Jets. I love the Jets forever and ever. Forever and ever, I love the Jets. I'm in deep gratitude to them for giving me this opportunity. You know, the head coach of the Jets, I can't say enough good things about him. He's such a smart, intuitive person. A man that any person that keeps their word is a big deal. And he kept his word to me.
How that experience of you being the first African-American female coach in the history of NFL changed the way you see yourself?
I think that I'm just more of a believer in myself now. Honestly, I think I've always been the same person, but I never let her out. And it's okay to talk about yourself and your accomplishments. It's okay to pat yourself on the back, you know, and it's okay to challenge yourself. And I think for me, I want to continue to challenge myself. You know, I think at this point the world is my oyster at this point, you know, and whatever I want to do, if I really want it, I'm going to go for it.
If you pick one day out of your life that you want to relive again, which day would that be?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough question. I think being back out on the football field playing football. On a happy note, playing football, yeah.
On a sad note?
And then on a sad note, I think, wow, on a sad note, I would go back to the day when I was first raped.
You said first.
Yeah.
Was it more than one?
Yeah, it was. And in college, you know, by a family member, by my aunt's husband, just to be really, you know, transparent. And I would go back in time and change that. You know, I think I would really beat him up at this point instead of being scared. I was in shock and I was scared.
You think you had a choice?
I don't think anybody has a choice. You know what? That's such a tough question, because had I not gone through that experience, I wouldn't be where I am today, possibly.
And many times we blame ourselves for those things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious. You said to change, assuming that you feel like you had some choice, which many times we don't.
We don't.
But
I think it's the
like
blaming.
that.
That's the blaming part, you know, where I did blame myself for years. But I think as time goes on and you grow as a person and you become stronger by things that you go through in your life, I stopped blaming myself. I know it isn't my fault. And I think that's probably why I'm where I know that's why I'm where I am today, because it's some things that have transpired in my life. But that's what I want to do. I want to keep giving women voices. I want to help. I want to give voice to the voiceless. It's what I want to do.
That's a strong mission to have in life.
Yeah.
And the work never stops, because
Never
there are
ends.
always women to empower.
Yeah, never ends. It never does, and I'm okay with that challenge. I can do it. I like a challenge. Yeah, I like a challenge.
What advice would you give to young women that wanna go into football and sports? What would that be?
Do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Collette, thank you so much. Have a great evening.